Welcome to Late Night Chat with JT and Nico, episode 82.
What's Gucci? Boston bitch, she bougie. Yeah, you goofy. Told niggas you don't like me, show me. And if you don't wanna fight me, sue me. Guarantee niggas won't like the new me. This feel like a Spike Lee movie. Room full of hoes and I might get choosy. Please excuse me. All of my moves are carefully planned. Don't play with me, I'm a family man. I put your bitch on my family plan. My mansion looking like fantasy land. I bought a beach with some Canada sand. All of my moves are carefully planned. I'm 2 steps ahead like Nigerian scams. Now hand me the bands. You in the crib and I'm here with the fans. My bitch got titties like Pamela Ann, and she wanna fuck in the janitor's van. I'm about to turn to a cycle. You about to...
Oh man.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it going. That's the What's Gucci it's the What's Popping remix, What's Gucci by Joyner Lucas.
That one's crazy, man. That whole fucking track is fire.
Yeah, he killed that beat. That's a sick ass fucking beat, though. I mean, like a lot of people can kill that beat. I'm surprised I didn't hear too many more remixes of that. I was gonna say you said that. I didn't hear that one. Is it any good or
like 4 months ago? No, I didn't even know.
Yeah, I was about to say. I don't know. He's kind of fallen off my radar, bro.
Well,
to be honest with you,
switched up his style a little bit. He's doing the Travis Barker sort of thing. I think they're on the MVAs.
Yeah, he's doing the Travis Barker album, right?
Yeah, they hosted or something. They were there. He was
Travis Barker,
fucking rock uniform.
Travis Barker, the drummer from Blink-182, of course, who's worked with a lot of hip hop artists as well. Yeah. Great drummer. They actually just released a new song, Blink-182, called Quarantine. It kind of sounds like their old shit. It's really good, actually. I like it. It sounds like their old shit, or it sounds like I've seen a lot of people saying in the comments like they sounded like NoFX and the band and there's other I forgot what the other band is that they compared them to, like Old Offspring and stuff like that. It sounds really good. Yeah, it sounds really good. I really like it.
But no, when they can go, they can go out like that. When they get up and hype and crazy going like Blink-182. I've heard some stuff from them. I mean, nothing crazy, but yeah, you know, that style. Even with like you said, with Travis Barker working with all the hip hop artists, FGKs.
No, I like Blink-182, but I think like even though they've been bringing out music the last few years again, I haven't loved a lot of it. But this newest song's pretty good. It sounds like their old stuff, or like they kind of, were inspired by this whole thing about staying inside. They have 2 songs, I guess, they came out over the last few months that have been like videos that they've done, not all together. Okay. So like, yeah, so it's kind of interesting. So if you're an old school Blink fan like I am, it's worth checking out. I would suggest it's a good song called Quarantine.
I can't say I was a big fan. Like I said, I've heard the music in passing, right? On the radios and stuff like that, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, no, I grew up with them, right? Like I was a big fan back then. That was like one of the bands that I still liked around the same time that I liked hip hop. Like one of the last like kind of bands that I kind of got. Like I remember I picked up the D12 Devil's Night and Blink-182 Take Off Your Pants and Jacket album. That's what it was called. They came out, I think, the same week or around the same time. Okay. So I got my dad to take me to like HMV or something back in the day, and I picked up both albums at the same time. So that just shows you like that snapshot of like at that period in time of music, like what I was kind of into. Like I picked up their album and I picked up Devil's Night. And back then, that's when they were still doing secret songs. So on the Devil's Night album, both of them had secret songs. The Devil's Night album, the D12 one, classic fucking album.
Yeah.
What's going on, Rob?
What's up, bro?
They had he had the sneak, Eminem had that song at the end of the album, Kids, the one where he disses Limp Bizkit, right? And then that, yeah, really. Yeah, shout out to HMV. But he, so that was really cool that he did that song. Yeah. And then Blink-182, depending on which album you bought, there was 3 secret songs on each album. Like each one had like these pictures on the albums. Hey, what's going on, Leslie?
Oh, yeah.
And each one that like I guess that would maybe prominently whatever symbol was on it or something. Yeah. It meant it was a different version of the album with a different secret song. So they had 3 fucking just ridiculously funny songs at the end of each album, right? Which was a secret song. But that's what I mean. Like both of them were doing it at that time. Yeah. I loved the secret song. I don't know if if we get that anymore on albums. I mean, because now it's like you see the track listing because it's on your phone. It's not like you put the disc. in like the thing, like, you know, like your
And then it's
computer
there.
or like a CD player.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember? And then sometimes you look at the album and it'd be like 17 songs and be like 18 would pop up and you're like, what the fuck is that? Right? Like, oh man.
Well, you know what? I think it's more they call them bonus tracks now. That's all they do. I
Yeah,
think they just throw them in
right. And then they put on the deluxe version and they
Oh,
put
yeah,
all the
yeah.
bonus
there. And all
tracks,
the,
right?
Yeah, they say crazy stuff. Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? Thank you.
Yeah, man. So they just put deluxe and all that crap, and they just throw extras. You know, make you download something else, make you download some more shit, and see what happens, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, but it sucks. Yeah, like you said, that you can't get those extra tracks that you don't know that they're on the album, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't fucking got songs. I haven't thought of that in fucking ages. CDs and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and going to buy actual, you know, D12 and fucking. I remember those days going to like it's like, you know, HMV doing those kind of things, and
Mhm.
you can looking forward to going and seeing what's going on, right?
Right.
But it kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this fucking
There's
guy.
the countdown
this
for for me leaving the show.
Look at this
28
guy.
shows left.
So,
like
yeah.
you requested, you wanted a countdown,
Yeah,
right?
he's
So
got the fucking countdown going now, guys. So they get everybody with tears in the fucking, yeah. So, but yeah, it's like a rest in peace, Nico too over here. It said 28 days.
but yeah, the battle, as Jamie here just mentioned. I don't recognize the name. I don't know if you're new to the channel, Jamie, or not. Maybe you just don't recognize the
What's
name,
up?
but what's going on? Yeah, the battle that we just had last Friday was Battle of the 90s. And Leslie, who was in the comments there a moment ago, faced JT here, of course. Leslie, who
Pulled off the win.
pulled off another win for herself now is a 2-0.
Mhm.
And thanks again for doing it, both of you guys. I gotta say,
Yeah, I don't mind taking the L's. I told you, man. It's all for
what's your
fucking
record
entertainment.
now, Jay?
I don't know. All losses. That's it, man.
You got one win in that ludicrous battle.
That's
I don't
it,
know how
man.
you still
So I don't
pulled
know how
that
I
one
was
off.
able to pull that off, but you know, it worked. Like I said, I tried to see if it would work this time, but no, it didn't work this time. So, but yeah, no, it was kind of interesting. It was kind of fun to fucking to do that battle too. It was kind of interesting to take that trip down memory lane on the fucking crappy songs that they had. But you know, everybody was liking them, certain ones, and certain ones I didn't play, and certain things I played, and you know, it kind of sucked that I had to lose. But you know, it is what it is, right? So she can keep her bragging rights now and do all that and everything she wants. So actually, as we're speaking, I think there's a live one going on too. With
Yeah,
girls one.
Brandy and
Yeah, it was weird. We were mentioning about how if they're gonna do one like that.
Yeah. Who is it? Brandy and who
I think
again?
it was Tony. No, that's not Tony Braxton. What was I saying? Tony Braxton. And Monica? No.
Yeah, I think
Monica? No.
hold on. What's her name? Brandy and Monica. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's going on right now as we speak.
But that was that's kind of that would.
So if you want to go watch that, it might be more entertaining than this right now.
But yeah, so you want to break down this battle for everybody and see what the fuck's going on. Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Towards the end of the battle, you were pretty braggadocious. I gotta say, you're kind of like
getting a little hyped up there.
You made some comments. I don't know. I recall that was pretty. Whether you knew you were bragging or not, you kind of were bragging a bit at the end of that battle. I gotta say.
Yeah. No?
She's like, oh, I don't do this to win. Blah blah blah. Like something like that. I can't recall, but it was funny.
I don't do this to win, but I did to win. You know, I want to win. Fuck that. You lot. you suck.
Oh, here we go.
But oh my god, there it is. There it is.
You're supposed to come on at the end of the conversation.
Oh, I thought you were gonna keep me in the background until I popped on.
It's okay. You can say your piece now, and then we'll get into it. If you
No. I want to hear the review first, and then I'll say my piece.
Yeah.
All right. Because I can keep you in the background if you want, but then I gotta have to mute you in the background, right?
Yeah.
You'll still be able to. All right. All right.
But yeah, you still suck. But yeah, you can come. You can come and talk after. All right. So
just got banished.
No, you got banished from the. Let's say we took you off the screen right now. You can have your time after we break down this whole battle. So
I think we're tied. Well, I have 2. Rob's got 2. And Leslie's got 2 now, but I have the worst record out of them because I've been in 4 and I've only won half of them. So I'm 2-2. Rob's 2-1. I think Leslie's 2-0 right now. Yeah.
I'm
So there you
2-1.
go. So yeah. So technically, you're not 2-1. The fuck out of here. You're like 1-7 or some shit. You've done like the most battles. I don't know why people keep accepting.
I keep watching mine, even though I keep losing, man. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know how I enjoy losing so much. It's fun though.
Yeah.
You know what?
So yeah, by the way, an update for that, because there's still the fucking 60s and 80s battle that are like absent from our fucking channel. Luckily for us, there was only one song that got flagged by YouTube when this one went up. So we were able to get away with it getting cleared very quickly. And like you know, someone mentioned the video is up there right now. Like, so it took like a day after the battle for it to go up there. So that's great. And lots of views and a lot of activity on there. So thanks again for everybody that did tune in for that battle and did enjoy it and came by to support it and vote and all that. That was really great.
That was.
That's the only reason why we keep these things going, right? But honestly, like yeah, those 80s and 60s one, there's a couple songs that aren't getting cleared, so I'm gonna have to edit that part out, and at least some of the video will still be up there for people to check out. So I'm gonna try to work on that this week, guys. So I just feel bad because those were also really good battles and they're nowhere to be seen. They're the only ones that didn't get on there. And I know Rob wants his 5 seconds of fame. Rob wants to be seen. I know. Shout out to Rob as well for the battle, because Rob hosted the battle, guys. I didn't feel like being on screen that day. I also felt that Rob being somebody who's been associated with the battles as well as with this channel a lot lately, I kind of wanted to give him a shot to host that night, and I think he did a really great job. So thanks again, Rob.
Yeah, man. That. Thanks there, because we had to listen to Leslie all night long. That was the worst part. Didn't you have to turn your headphones down a little bit? I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to get her a little bit going before.
The worst part is, as you're talking your shit, I can see her reactions off screen.
I know you can. She's probably waiting in there, right? You said she's
she's just getting pissed. Yeah, no, right. I can't see anything right now. But okay, let's get into it. So as usual, we break down the battle for you guys to kind of see where our losers went wrong and this back and forth, and some of the controversies that follow with these battles, right? I think I guess I'll start off with it. I'll start off with it. Jay's waiting.
I'm waiting because Nico's been saying this since I came here, since I got here, and he's been talking how he's got something to say about the battles, and now I don't know what the fuck he's got to say about it. So I want to hear.
To be honest, I'm a little upset about it. I'm a little pissed, and it's good to hear that so many people did enjoy it, because I haven't really heard that many negative things from people that watched it. Yeah, exactly. It was by bands that wouldn't even allow their name be spoken.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's it. They can't even be like.
Yeah, I would say their names right now, but I don't want this video to go down.
Yeah, exactly. They're just gonna shut us off right now.
But yeah, to be honest, you know me, we put a lot of work into this thing here.
Yeah.
As fun as it is and all that. I felt that it started off. It started off with a little technical difficulties, and we were able to overcome it very quickly. I didn't even edit it out for the video's sake when it went up. I could, just to make it a little bit better, but fuck it. Just to show you guys how it went. The first 10 minutes or so, Jay, you couldn't hear him on mic. We had to switch seats. I was on for a moment, then I was off, and we had to change the audio equipment around. It was kind of very last minute. When I'm not on screen, the setup doesn't necessarily work unless we set it up to work without me. And
it depends what computer.
It's happened once before, and we forgot to take that into account again for this one. So, I felt we dealt with it pretty fast, but that kind of pissed me off a little bit, because we put a lot into this, a lot of prep and a lot of time, and I want to put on the best show possible for people, right? So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say I wasn't kind of upset by that. Then I got to say, and again, don't take this personally. Leslie's going to be on in a moment, and anyways, to defend herself. and it made for some great moments, but unfortunately the party happening on the same day on her fucking balcony or whatever was going on, it caused some audio issues as well along the way at times. But I think that it also was great because it had some great moments, to the point where Leslie's yelling out the channel to people, and you could hear people, and apparently the celebrations went out on after the fact too. She was mentioning, and she can tell that story when she comes on in a moment. So yeah, I would think it was well worth it. It's just that, again, like, and I don't want to blame Leslie because obviously that was unpredictable, right? But obviously. It's just like at times at the start, if she didn't know to mute it, there was some interruptions, I think, of the sound quality coming from either of your ends. You're on the soundboard. You didn't really know you don't have as much experience with the soundboard, right? So sometimes things could have been amplified or adjusted on your end, and I was yelling at you from fucking across the room, trying to understand being an asshole, language. Right? Yeah. So it still was. Asshole. We're not saying that
asshole. I wasn't. No, you're not being it wasn't being an asshole. It's just being frustrating. That's all it was.
Right. So it was just a little frustrating for me on my end, but not to hear so much negative feedback, except for the here and there, the kind of like, hey, I can't hear in the comments and things like that. It just obviously it's a live show. Mishaps happen and stuff like that. It's just we try really hard to kind of keep the quality going for you guys and to keep the show good. So maybe it was just me that was frustrated by it. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. I was a little frustrated, kind of just even rewatching the recap of the video today when I was making my notes, right? Yeah. So but you know what? People seem to enjoy themselves. Thanks again to both of you. The fact that you guys even, do this, come on here, Leslie and all their guests, Rob came on and hosted, and everyone said they had a good time. So, and people continue to have a good time, and that's why we'll continue doing it. I just wanted to put that out there. I was a little upset, but I'm okay now. It's just at the time I was a little frustrated. You know me that night. I was,
it was hot. It was frustrating. It was just a long day.
But I think we still managed to put on a good show, right? That's that at the end of the day. Right? That's at the end of the day. It's just from my perspective, I thought we were fucking up a lot. Like, you know what I mean? But I can understand
I can understand that perspective. I can understand if you want to be everything to be, because I know you. I mean, personally, I know you. I know you're a perfectionist. I don't care what anybody says. You try to do everything perfect. And I know that. But sometimes reality kicks in, and sometimes there's a little bit of fuck ups in here and there, and so you just kind of got to breathe. So it was kind of hard because everything was already on in here, and you knew that you were in here for a while already. So this room was a little hot. You were a little heated. It just didn't work out. Everything just went like completely.
Yeah, I'm dabbing my fucking head on screen by the end of the video.
Right, and he's fucking. but I mean, the whole. Luckily, the music part, and we tried to keep it interesting and everything after that.
And then I'll save my last comment for last as we get to the end of these songs selections here. But let's jump right into it. But otherwise, great battle, and everybody did a great job. Okay, so start us off, Jay. You started out with your throwaway song first round.
Oh, my throwaway song was I threw her off with that. Didn't I throw her off with the Puff Daddy song? Remember?
Yes,
with the Puff Daddy and the Jimmy Page,
right?
From the
Godzilla movie,
Godzilla soundtrack, right? So I wanted there was a remix for the Godzilla soundtrack. So I figured I'd throw that in there just to throw it off and throw anything, because I didn't really care if that won anything or not. I just remember it was in the 90s.
I think your main objective, and we'll pinpoint something. I got a comment about you where you maybe went wrong with this one. Was just throwing Leslie off. I mean, you can admit it at this point. I think you just wanted to fuck with Leslie, have a good time. Like, let's be honest. Like, how serious were you in this battle?
Dude, I mean, you've seen my list of songs afterwards.
Yeah,
I had a lot of songs that I.
So it's not like you didn't put in work.
No, I had the work.
Do you want to reveal that you may have had some outside help?
Well, no, I did. I had some outside help. Obviously, I did have some outside help. I got some songs, but really, I didn't play anything that anybody gave me, which is anher thing.
Right.
Really,
which is another question I wanted to have for you, because I'm kind of surprised you took help, outside help, it seems like, while putting this list together, because it seems like you wanted to really. And I gotta say, at the end of the day, Leslie did have the best years. Even me leading into it, like let's be honest, and not to put anything past her, because you came close. You came close, and we'll get into it here.
And I probably had better. I had other songs.
Not to take anything away from the win, but preferably, I was looking at her years when I was looking at all the songs. But even that being said, she didn't really play a lot of the stuff I was.
That's what freaked me out.
So I don't know if she was taking it easy on you or not.
Well, did my throwing her off fuck with her too, because
I don't know. We'll have to ask her when she cuts on.
Maybe
So
she was worried that she was saving songs and she kept getting worried. And
maybe
then she didn't have to play them.
So that was your throwaway song. Then you opened up with what?
I opened up with Green Day, Basket Case.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, great song.
Which is a great song, and I think I don't know who took that round, to be honest with you.
So then Leslie came back with Oasis, Champagne Supernova. She ended up taking the round. I personally voted for Green Day Basket Case. I prefer that song over that Oasis song. I think it's a great song. I agree, and I'm not surprised that she took the round. But Green Day, for me, I was a huge fan of Green Day back then, right? So that was a huge song.
Yeah. I'm getting private.
A lot of sore losers. A lot of sore losers around here. All right, so next up, I'm getting private chats. Yeah. So she took the round. So anyways, moving on to the round 2.
Yeah.
What'd you hit her with?
I hit her with where's my number 2? I don't have my thing here.
Got
Lenny Kravitz, Fly Away.
Yeah.
So that one was a big tune back when it came out. I mean, not too many people. I mean, I don't know if I was.
I'm not a huge Lenny Kravitz fan, but that was a big hit.
It was a big
so
hit.
much so that I actually ended up voting for that again, I believe. Yeah, but
I think I was going for the ladies and stuff like that with that kind of song.
She responded with Pearl Jam's Last Kiss, and you ended up taking the round, which you know what I mean. I wasn't. I'm not surprised because she's a big Pearl Jam fan. She said as much, I believe, to me off the air before. Yeah, I'm not a huge Pearl Jam fan, but that's because I don't really know their music all that much. Like I didn't grow up with them. Like really, I never really. Yeah, there's some hits. Like if you played some of their songs, I would know them. But I'm not gonna sit there and I'm not like the hardcore diehard fan for them. So neither am I for Lenny Kravitz. I like that tune better. Personally.
I found that one would I thought would have gave me a shot.
Yeah.
So I figured
so you tied it up. You tied it up. 2 songs in, you tied it up. Okay. And then now this is where it gets a little controversial, I think. And Leslie, take note of this because I want to hear your opinion on this when you come back on here.
Take note.
Go ahead. Who'd you play?
I played a Beastie Boys track.
Right.
Sabotage.
Right.
So now maybe there was a reason why I did that. Okay. Maybe it was a whole sabotage. Maybe the whole fucking thing was a sabotage just to see if I threw Leslie off. But yeah, so I threw that in there. And what did she come and hit me with?
She hit you with Guns N' Roses, Don't Cry.
So maybe she knew what I was trying to do. So yeah, they got some controversy on that one, on the Beastie Boys track on that. So I don't know who's got the controversy. I don't know.
And you ended up winning that round.
Exactly.
And surprising her because she was not expecting Beastie Boys. Surprising her because she's like, okay, I better step it the fuck up now. And she did. She said as much on the video, and she did with the next 2 rounds. But you were winning 2-1 out the gate, and you fucking threw that little curveball. Controversial in the sense that some people wouldn't call that rock. Personally, I feel that it is because I know Beastie Boys has always been in that conversation, and they're in the. She brought up the fact that Tupac's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame after I said that they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Beastie Boys. And while Tupac, I don't think I think that just proves how bullshit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is. And I've said that before too. But I think also I don't think, and Run DMC, Beastie Boys, that makes sense to me. But the fact that they put Tupac in, other than him just being a huge icon, I don't really understand why he would be in there personally. But so I guess I can't make that argument if that's the case. But I will say, like, after the fact we were talking about it, people were saying, is Limp Bizkit count? And I would say absolutely. But they have a rapper and that, or a guy that raps, okay? And a lot of people consider bands like that, like rap rock, like alternative fucking band, which is what is Beastie Boys are classified if you look them up as well. So I think it counts personally, but I think that one I didn't have a problem with. Later on, there's one I had a problem with that you played that I think I'm glad you didn't take the round for that, and we'll get into that. Anyways, so you took the round on this Beastie Boys. Sabotage, huge tune. A lot of people like that. A lot of people like that tune. And I didn't really see that much people arguing the fact in the comments. There was a couple naysayers of it. Again, I'll have to see what Leslie said. I don't think she was a fan of the fact that you played Beastie Boys, but we'll get into it. Then you came through with what? This is round 4.
I did this one because I knew I had talked to her, and she goes, "Oh, I told her I didn't like it." And I told her I didn't like Bon Jovi and that, especially I didn't like Bon Jovi in the '90s when he
Right.
finally fucking cut his hair and he streaked it in blonde
Yeah.
streaks, and he looked he didn't look, he looked like Boy George, no, George Michael, sorry. Then that was it. I stopped liking. I didn't think he was anything good, so I threw around with Blaze of Glory. I threw that.
Yeah.
Number 4. I threw that.
She responded with Aerosmith's Crying, and she ended up taking the round, and I voted for that as well. I think that's a good song.
So
It's one of the they actually had a lot of success in the 90s. I think isn't that when the Armageddon song came out too?
yeah, there was 2
and
albums that came out. At least 2, I think.
So I liked that song. I'm a fan of Aerosmith, and I like that song. So I voted for that. I'm not a huge fan of that Bon Jovi song personally, and I don't know if I would have played it, but
I just wanted to throw a Bon Jovi. I didn't want to go too fucking slow. Like I mean, I could have played slower Bon Jovi songs.
Yeah.
But that's all he had in the night. I can't think of anything.
So
really
she
crazy.
ties it up with that. Then you went on to play what after that? Round 5 before you finished up your first set list here.
Round 5, I threw in Vaseline from Stone Temple Pilots.
Well, a song that a lot of people were surprised about. I think Leslie included was not putting enough respect on your name there, because she was like, "I'm surprised you know this song." She was like, "I'm surprised you know that."
Right?
To be fair, I was like, I thought maybe that was where some of your outside influence was coming from, because I wasn't aware that you maybe knew of that song either. Yeah, so you played that, and I think a lot of people were surprised at that. A lot of people enjoyed it. But then she played into that. She hit you with the Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve, and she even played that violin for you, and she got you the fuck out of here with that one, right? She got you the fuck out of here with that one. She won that one. That's a great song. I think I may have voted for you on that one, to be honest with you, but now reading it now and thinking about it, I could have easily voted. I could have easily voted for Leslie on that too. I think I did vote for you at the time, because I was not expecting to hear that song, and she came with a good response and won the round. She was 3-2 at the end of your 5 songs. So so good. It was anybody's game still at this point.
Yeah,
now this is where
it's
anybody's
a good
game.
hockey score. Like,
yeah,
you know
3-2 is good. Down by 1 going into the second half is
Yeah.
never bad,
No.
right? So okay, so moving into the second half though. That being said,
okay, this is where she goes first.
she played her throwaway was Radiohead Karma Police. Good song for a throwaway, I thought. Again, I'm not the hugest Radiohead fan, but they have hits, and the songs that she played by them, good songs. And some people were surprised that she played that as a throwaway, but again, her years were stacked with great stuff. So I was not afraid. Like, I would have thrown anything out there for the throwaway at that point, right? I mean, she had a lot of great songs to choose from. So I think you both did, honestly. The more we get into it, so that was her throwaway. Then she fucking hits you with this banger. She's up 3-2. Fucking Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Huge fucking song. Huge fucking song. I thought you might as well pack it in at this point. But then you responded.
Coming. Well, I knew they were coming. I didn't think
of course.
I didn't know they weren't coming. I knew they were coming.
But but what did you respond with?
Killing in the Name of was against Rage by Rage.
Great response, by the way. I felt I might have even voted for you on this one, but again, it could have went either way. So this was one of the closer votes. That's the other thing I want to throw out here. Around this time, votes were being won by like 2 votes. I think she won like 11 and not to 9 on this, because we at the start
a person that was trying to count with you too.
Yes. Her son was in the. This is around the time I got called out for possibly getting one of the votes wrong. I think.
This is the worst day to call Nico out on stuff.
Her son.
I was surprised he didn't come on screen and just start telling her
son
fuck off.
Her son was helping. Her son was helping. He was also voting and enjoying the show, right? Yeah. And it was good. But yeah, at one point I was a little ticked because he called me out for being wrong on one of them, and that I clearly wasn't. So I had to fucking recount it a couple of more times because I wanted to make sure I got it right.
It was hard to count.
You won by 1 vote on one. That's how close it was. And then it got up to about 20 people in the room. So that's what I mean. Like this, I think she won like 11 to 9 over you. So I thought that was a great response on your part.
It came
Killing the Name of. Great response.
Wow, I could put that against any Nirvana song.
I thought that was at that point. I thought it was over though when she played "Smells Like Teen Spirit." But I mean, and it was. She did take the round, but you came close. You came really close. You gave her a run for her money on that one. Okay,
this is where This is where I was trying to strategize and pick, and fucking. This is where I totally started fucking up. Right.
Um,
Go on.
Then she played Radiohead. I'm a Creep. Huge song again.
Yeah. So I went and hit her with
Or Creep. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Is it called I'm a Creep? I don't know. It's that song is the song.
Yeah, I remember I'm a creep. I know the chorus. I remember that part. I'm a creep.
Yeah. Well, it's your song, bro.
Yeah.
Creep. It's just called Creep. I thought so. Okay.
I thought that was
You're a creep is what I was gonna say.
Isn't Creep a TLC song?
No. Is it? I don't know.
Creep. Yeah, that one. Remember?
I don't know that song. Is it?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. She's nodding in the
That's
background.
pretty sad that I fucking know
It
that
is.
too.
It is.
Man.
Yeah, it is.
Holy. So yeah, so this is where I came out. I came with Come Out and Play by The Offspring. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know who took that round. I don't know if it was me or her.
She took this round. So at this point, she's up 4-2.
With the Radiohead.
Yeah, she's up 4-2 with the Radiohead. It made it 5-2. I voted for you.
Yeah,
I love that. Song. I love that Offspring song.
There's a lot of good Offspring. I'm surprised the Radiohead beat it.
You played, sorry, which Offspring? It was
well, it was Come Out and Play. Or no,
that's not what you played, is it? Oh yeah, you keep them separated one, right? Yeah. I would have played the other song that you played by them, which is coming up. I think you should have played that or the Kids Aren't All Right. I think that song is good that you did. Yeah. You had the best albums for Offspring. I'll tell you that right now. You had you had Americana, and you had, was it Smash, that album that comes off of the one you just played? Get them up. Yeah. You had the best Offspring albums. There was one in 97, the Ixnay on Ombre. It wasn't that great of his album. That's what I mean. You had Americana, which has fucking all the rest of the hits. So I was really happy that you played Offspring. Again, I love Offspring. I know a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Their fans are, again, there's a lot of yelling that goes on in their songs, but they have that energy. Like they have a really good energy. I think they bring to songs, right? So I like them personally. So I voted for that, but she took the round on that. Yeah. Then she played Alanis Morissette, You Oughta Know. It's not my personal favorite. I know she has fans. I know that she that album was huge. So I gotta respect the pick, but
that's my brother's favorite album, by the way. If anybody knows my brother out there. But yeah. So I just wanted to let the people know.
Is it really?
Dude. Yeah, man. When we were kids, he had that album pumping all the time.
Yeah, so I respect the pick, but just not for me. That song.
He'll lie about it and everything.
I like that other one. That what's the ironic by her? Isn't that off the same album?
Yeah.
I would have played that one over you. I don't know, maybe.
I heard that.
I don't know.
Song
I like them both. They're both good songs. I like them, but just I don't know. It's fine. Anyways, what'd you play?
I played. That's when I fucked up. And I played. This is round 4, right? This is I played that Prodigy song.
No, I don't think this is when you played it, is it?
Yeah, round 4, right? We're not at
3 we're at 3 right now. This is round 3.
Oh,
we'll get into the Prodigy song.
Oh, sorry. Where am I? We're at 3. Where the fuck is it? Closer by 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, and you took the round.
Yeah.
Great fucking song. Yeah. So I voted for that hands down over the Alanis Morissette song. So, and I think that's one of the rounds I think you almost, I wouldn't say swept, but you had majority of the vote on that one. That one wasn't close.
But yeah, it was
just because 2 different tones of songs. You hit her with the night. Yeah.
She went with that Alanis Morissette style, and I just went with that fucking, you know what? Fuck, I'm like an animal. Right?
So then Leslie played Big Wreck. That song, Leslie, is that right? Yeah. I'm not familiar with this song. This song kind of lost me, to be honest with you. I don't know this song that well. So this is the one song I think out of her playlist I wasn't that familiar with. And I was like, okay, I think I've heard it before, but I'm just like, I don't have any attachment to it.
Okay.
This is where you play the controversial song. Okay. So at this point, there was 2 songs left? Yeah, 2 songs left. So she's winning. You got 3 votes?
And I got 2.
Yeah, so she's winning 2 songs left, so that means 5-3 she's winning right now.
I got 3, yeah.
Yeah, she's got 5, you got 3.
Yeah, because I got the closer 5-3.
You should have fucking played a better fucking song at this point. I don't know why. Maybe I had to remind you of your fucking a score at this point in time or something. Maybe I should have flashed it on the screen for you, because like you could have possibly tied this up if you played a fucking better song here.
It just kept showing
No, but like
up,
the
man.
screwing around with her should have been over at this point.
No,
like,
but I don't even think
I don't know why you even fucking like, I'm going to play Prodigy
on my list.
First of all, that's not a fucking rock song. It's like a fucking techno. Like, I don't know what the fuck, electronic music.
It threw me off.
If you took the round, I would have had a problem with it, to the point I may have had to jump in, because like you didn't take the round.
No.
You actually lost because of this initially in the 10 before she allowed you to go to overtime. You lost because of your fucking, what is it? Which Prodigy song is it?
Breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't know her song at all, like I just said, really.
Yeah, and
so I voted for Prodigy because it's the fucking like Matrix song or something, right? That's the only reason I gave it the vote.
Yeah. See?
I agree that's the wrong move, but I don't agree that it's more rock than Beastie Boys.
No,
I gotta disagree with you there, but that's fair. That's fair to think that, Rob. I mean, you guys know more about music than I do in this genre, sure. But I just don't think anything about that song. You can make an argument for Beastie Boys. I don't think you can make an argument for this. Honestly, like, I think that's very strange.
Yeah, it was different. I thought they were playing,
and I gave you the vote still because like I didn't know her song, and I'm like, oh look, it's a fucking Matrix song. I like that song, whatever. But maybe
that's what threw me off.
Or that other one you should have played, smack my bitch up after that. That's what you should have. You know, might as well. Like, you might as well just go down that rabbit hole at that point. Like, I don't know, or whatever that fucking song was called.
Yeah. Oh man,
I don't know. Very strange.
It was bad.
And I know electronic music has been once you get to a certain point, you can make everything's alternative rock and all that. You can make that argument, sure, I guess, but I wouldn't say this. This is where I would have called it. I would have been really upset if you.
I had to look at it afterwards.
She took the round.
It didn't really come up.
Right. She took the round. She was up 6-3 going into the last round. She played, and I actually thought she might play this song. She played song 2 by Blur, which is it was in the beer commercial, huge song, that woohoo song, that fucking, you remember this. Everyone fucking remember that song. A little known fact about this, the only thing I know about this band is that the lead singer or guitarist or whatever in this band went on to do the Gorillaz after this. He was the lead guy in Gorillaz.
Sick, man. I remember that.
And I love the fucking Gorillaz. Yeah. And I actually the day of, I told you, me and Christine were farting around before the show when you came over. Yeah. And we were looking up possible stuff you guys could play. I actually had taken interest because we love all the 90s stuff too. And I looked it up, and Gorillaz, the album that you could have had, I think it was like 2000 or 2001 or something. It just didn't make the cusp. Like, he left, and I think they had something in 99 or something, which is also hers, but I didn't know anything off that album.
Yeah.
And that would have been sick though. I love the Gorillaz, man. And like,
think of that class
that's
of it as
that guy's Gorillaz.
Yeah.
Again, they had a lot of different
controversy. I mean, like you don't know, right? Like,
I wouldn't say controversy, but again, I would also say they are. I would also consider them.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
But they have rap. But there's rap in there, and there is like probably some electronic type shit too. And they did all. It was an electronic band. It was all videos, right? Yeah. Like, it was like fucking that and Prozac, all those fucking Pete bands. Had like all cool, you're right. It
was cool.
That was a good era.
I like the music, man. That's the part that I did. I just like the music. I wasn't really.
I was huge fan of Gorillaz. Yeah. And then Lupe Fiasco, he put out a mixtape back in the day where he remixed all of his songs. Yeah. He remixed like all the Gorillaz songs and shit, and had like his own versions of it. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Gorillaz. So that guy's from the Blur. I guess that didn't work out for them. That's the only thing I know them for. And then he moved on and became part of the Gorillaz.
Maybe it was the name.
Yeah. Anyways, you responded with what?
Where is it? Number 5 there.
Yeah.
Self-Esteem.
Yeah.
By Offspring.
Yeah. And you took the round.
And I took the round.
Yeah. But one of my favorite, if not my favorite.
I still lost.
Offspring songs.
But that's where the end was the end. And I lost.
If you look at what you did in the OT, if you play one of these fucking songs instead of that Prodigy bullshit, I think you had a chance of tying this.
I know, it was bad.
That's how close it was. Even in the votes,
dude.
Even in the votes, I think you had a chance here, because if you look at it, that's where you went wrong with that one.
And as I was looking up the actual fucking, it was on my list. I wanted to. It kept popping up on my fucking screen too.
Yeah. So then we go straight to overtime. She allows it because it was so close. Some of the rounds that she thought that she's gonna still up her ass, which she did. you fucking bust out Thunderstruck.
Yeah, because I wanted to fuck with her then.
Right.
Because she was breaking my balls. This is the song she gave to
But
me.
why didn't you fucking play that instead?
Because I didn't want her to be right. I wanted to throw her off, bro. She was coming. She was prepared
But it
for that song.
cost you the fucking rounds.
Ah, bro, I told you. What did I tell you? I'm here for the entertainment.
I
bro.
get it.
here
I'm
for the
just
ladies.
saying you made it closer than I thought you were gonna do. Anyways, okay.
Yeah,
Then she played Queen Show Must Go On.
Yeah,
You took the round.
Yeah,
Good
I still
song.
took it.
Good song.
But they're both
Good song.
great songs. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
I'm
voted for
surprised
that
those
too.
didn't get fucking flagged.
Thunderstruck. Yeah. I don't know.
Because we played.
I think it's all the noise. There was too much noise.
Going on, interrupting it in
Yeah,
the
because if you talk over music and there's noise and shit,
they're okay with it.
they don't flag it as.
Well,
as,
you know
as
why
much.
it's harder to pick it up because you're ruining everything in the
Right.
talk, and you know what I mean. It's like I told you, it's like a Shazam algorithm.
Yeah.
You know.
So then she played. Went back to her. She played Blink-182, All the Small Things. Huge fucking song. One of my favorite songs by them. You responded with a good one. I felt Green Day When I Come Around.
Yeah.
Good response.
Yeah.
Good response. But she took the round.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a bigger song. And I like both bands, and I got to say that All the Small Things bigger. So the only other one she could have played from that time of Blink was What's My Age Again, I think, which was on the same album as that. I could have went either way with her, but I think All the Small Things was the better choice. And then you've played. Then she finished it off with. Then you finish it off with Everlast, What It's Like.
Yeah.
Which again, weird fucking choice.
I know what it's like to take the loss, man. That's what it is, bro.
At that point, you already lost.
Yeah,
she ended
was
up
being
winning.
cool.
She was up 7-5. You had to win the first 2 rounds of overtime to tie it up.
Yeah.
To have a chance. You had to sweep overtime to essentially get the win, right?
Yeah.
But then she ended up with, and sadly, Lewis, I don't think had tuned in live. Hopefully, he watched the replay. The song that's been requested the most in all these battles, jokingly or not, is Oasis Wonderwall. She finished it off with and took the win on that one, the W. And finished it off 8-5. So,
oh man,
honestly, and here's my comment about it, and then I'm gonna bring Leslie on. Looking at some of these bands, and even maybe a little heavier on Leslie's side, I don't know if it's an age thing with you guys or what. Because I felt it would have been better if there was more bands I felt that like were from the 90s that were represented in the 90s, and maybe it's not music that she was into or you were into. You actually represent you played more stuff that I like Green Day, Offspring.
I tried to keep like AC/DC out of it. That's why I really didn't want to play it.
Right. But that's what I mean. I didn't like how there was we still were going on with
I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna put
we're still playing Queen, you're fucking playing Bon Jovi, Guns N' Roses are still being played, and that's your choice. That's your guys' choice. But my 90s I think was just very different what I was into at that time than what you guys some of it you were
music
playing
that rolled over, so we knew who they were, right?
So I was a little disappointed because I felt like there could have been so much more played that I didn't hear, and that's the case with all these battles. But I think it was represented. Yes, I think so. I think so.
I honestly
think so
too, because when I went through the list and then I showed, like I said, I showed Nico my songs afterwards,
right?
And he already said straight up. What did he say? He said straight up that I had so many more crazier songs. I had the Marilyn Manson songs. I had other shit like that I didn't play. Yeah, and it's fucked up. I mean, that's stuff that they know.
Leslie, so there you go, Leslie. We said her piece. Now we'll hand it over to you to say yours.
See, Cranberries. That's
go ahead.
Here we go.
First off,
thank
you for letting me do this battle. 90s was my favorite. Second of all, I learned something during this battle. The people in your generation, Nico, they like the late 90s, the Offspring, the Blink-182, because you're younger, right? Yeah. We're older. We came out with the Cranberries, Pearl Jam. Aerosmith had that big album with Crying, Crazy, Amazing, Living on the Edge, which is probably...
That was the other one I was trying to think of when I was talking about it. I love the video of that. That was Mila Kunis. Wasn't she in that video or something back in the day? No.
So Crazy is when he brought Liv Tyler in, his daughter.
Right.
And Crying was just Alicia Silverstone.
But wasn't Mila Kunis in one of their videos too?
No. Mila Kunis wasn't in their video.
Okay,
she was a kid, man.
But she wasn't on that 70s show. She was 14 when I remember her being in some video, I think later on. But I remember Crazy. I do remember the video. I remember there was a chick in there that
I mean, so he keeps telling the Cranberries, but fuck, I had
the Cranberries zombie. that song alone,
It's on my
JT,
list.
that song took over the 90s at one point. That whole album, Linger, Zombie.
Yeah.
I had Linger, but it was that one Cranberry song that, as much as I love, wouldn't have beat anything that you had, right?
Yeah.
It's just like certain songs, like Nirvana, right? That came out in the early 90s, right? Like those Bush, we didn't play any Bush X, right? And you had all the Bush songs, right? And I thought, why isn't he playing like Glycerine, right? Right? So like those are the early 90s.
But I'm not huge.
That's what I mean. I'm not a big fan of that one.
I understand, right? Just like I'm not a bigger fan of like the later 90s stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? That kind of rock to me was already starting to brought into like poppy rock, and kind of like I felt like it was more of a jokester rock, where the early 90s kind of rock was like it was a little deeper. You get what I'm saying? So maybe that's why I resonate with it more. Plus, I was the age that you were in the 90s and the early 90s, in the late 90s, right? So
a couple years difference.
But still, when you're a teenager, it makes a difference. When you're a kid and a teenager, it makes a difference.
I think you're right in the fact that it's undeniable the bands that held those other eras that we've already done for Battle of the Bands, but like especially like you said, when it comes to the 90s, though, there is that drop off and separation going into the 2000s. And yeah, like you said, there's a lot of rock pop type stuff. Also, I would argue a lot of punk music. I was huge into punk. Yeah, I was and rap rock too. That's what I mean.
Rap rock, right?
That's why I said at the start of this episode, I was picking up rap albums and fucking like the Blink-182 album at the same time. So there definitely is that. Thank you.
Oh,
see, I fucking knew she was in the video.
Yeah.
Oh, Jaded. But that came like later.
That's the one. That was their last big hit in that era. If it was maybe the 2000 Jaded, but that was the last.
I forgot about that video.
Yeah.
I
knew
Thanks,
she
Rob.
was. Yeah. Thank you, Rob. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that's where the separate. So that's why I was a little disappointed in some of the stuff that was played that night, only from that sense. Like I knew almost all the songs you guys played, like I said, except for that one song, Leslie, my apologies. But yeah, for me, I would have rather have heard some other tunes. Like, and you were a little bit closer, I think, into what I was looking for than Leslie, but not to say that they were bad songs that were played, but I just think for this 90s, it felt like you could fucking have went 20 songs easy, man. Like honestly,
easy.
I was writing songs down left and right. I didn't even realize how many songs that were actually there when I went on and did my own list and started going through. I didn't realize how many songs were in that era. I was putting stuff beside, but you know what? I didn't play half the shit that I had, man. Like I even wrote the years down, everything. Everything was fucking. I mean, but I started off by throwing you off, Leslie, a little bit, and that was it. From there, I didn't think I was gonna be able to win because I knew you in that era, and if I would have known that you're like me, more like me, where it was older, I should have thought along those lines where it was that you would have thought.
You know what song you could, and I thought it was.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Hold on.
Go on. Sorry.
If I would have known that you were into the same music that I thought of, like the older rock, and I knew a lot of the newer rock, but I should have played some of the newer stuff because if I didn't know some of the songs that you had in your era, I don't know if you even had on your list. You know what I mean? Like in the
what?
I like we were talking about Pearl Jam songs. We were talking. Like, you had you could have used a whole Nirvana album, right? And you.
I could have. But right? Last time, the reason I didn't play more Nirvana is because last time I got called out for playing more than one Guns song, and I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try and appease everybody. I don't want to, it is about the people watching too, right? I didn't want to get anyone like thinking, oh, blah blah blah. I could have played, I could have played that whole Aerosmith album, Crying, Crazy, Amazing, and Living on the Edge. 4 fucking huge tracks of the 90s, right? I only played Crying. Right? Yeah, Zombie would have totally taken that round. Why you didn't take it just to spite me is probably the dumbest fucking experience in the whole fucking world, JT.
You tell him.
This is why that just ticks me off.
You tell him, Leslie. You tell him. No, I agree. I agree with her, bro. I agree with her.
You let your ego get in the way
of logic. Sometimes, man. You know what? It wasn't about, like I said, it wasn't about winning, Leslie. I wanted you to win, man.
Lies. Lies. You literally called it shit.
I needed to make you feel good, man.
And this is why reviewing the tape is the best, bro, because I never noticed that till today when I rewatched it. And I'm like, why the fuck did he play this song at that point? Like, he's like, hey, I'm going to fuck with her, bro. You're like playing it. I'm like watching this guy across the fucking the table. I'm like, what are you doing? What is this? Like, I was just like, what?
Oh, I don't know, man. I was just having a good time. I was getting into it. And if I seen his fucking, the chat was going off like crazy. I was just going, they were having fun with me, telling me what kind of fucking song is this. I wanted to see what kind of controversy it stirs up. It's the best. That's the best part, man. Because you know what? The whole thing gets interesting after that.
Okay, so speaking of controversy.
Oh, here we go. What else?
Oh, I also could have played you another violin song, November Rain by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. I know what you have.
Could have had that too, right?
No,
but
I got
then I didn't play it because I noticed that a huge song like Don't You Cry didn't get the votes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, are people not a 90s Guns N' Roses fan? So then that threw me off too. Because a lot of it also I played according to what people were enjoying. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. So I noticed that a lot of the votes were going towards you to songs that were later on. And I'm like, oh, fuck. I've got all these older songs, right? Like,
What is that? He put his...
Seriously, nice win, Leslie. But if he put his ego aside, I think he might have actually beaten you. Exactly, Rob. Exactly.
I don't know. I didn't think I could. Honestly.
No, go on, Leslie. What were you saying though? You're making the point like you had to change up your approach. It felt like
I did because I started looking at what people were liking, people were voting for, and I was like, wow, I couldn't believe that Smells Like Teen Spirit barely beat Rage Against the Machine, right? And I'm like, look at any list, and I looked at a gazillion top #1 rock hits from different websites.
Right.
And the first one on every single one was Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Of course.
Right? It was the first one on like a huge load. So when you played Rage Against the Machine, it's like, what?
Yeah. I thought it was a good response. I thought it was a good response, to be honest with you. But I hear you. But you still ended up winning, but you had fucking close. It was 11.
Right? So that threw me off even more.
Yeah.
So then I honestly started going into a little bit of a panic mode.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when with the Beastie Boys, and here's my argument. So guys, hear me out on this, okay? So Nico, for example, remember when Rob and I did the 80s?
Yeah.
Remember how we were talking about Phil Collins' Genesis?
Right.
And you were saying Genesis is considered rock because they were a band and they played instruments.
Right. Beastie Boys had none. They were using samples.
They didn't play any instruments.
And
they didn't play rock. Intergalactic isn't rock. It's fucking techno with rap, right? Like they're not rock. They're not.
Right.
They're not. And the Run DMC being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, too. Okay, same as Beastie Boys, same as Tupac, right? So here's Run DMC. My argument with Run DMC. Run DMC is a rap band, who rapped in a rock song, right, written by Aerosmith. You can't call something a ham and cheese sandwich if you only got ham.
But
you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but
Run DMC is not rock.
Even though there may have been no live
Run DMC on one song
right.
is rock, and the rock part wasn't Run DMC. The rock part was Aerosmith.
Mm-hmm.
Run DMC rapped in a rock song written by someone else and performed by someone else.
No, that song was released as a rock song first before, and then after
they added Run DMC.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my argument with the Beastie Boys not being rock, right?
Right, but you do understand that there is a lot of people that would argue that fact with you.
I completely understand.
They have a
like I consider Limp Bizkit, who does rap rock,
and yeah,
I consider them a rock, right? Because they played their own instruments and they did have a rock.
So if I had one instrument, like a keyboard, where you make a fucking music beat, is that considered a band? Is that considered rock?
Pardon?
If I have a keyboard where I synthesize my own music and shit like that, is that considered?
Synthesizers aren't used in rock.
I'm gonna ask you something.
It's a keyboard because you can use a keyboard. It's a fucking piano, regardless.
You need drums and guitar.
Drums and guitar.
I know Alanis Morissette can play a guitar though, but did she play a guitar in all those songs on that album?
She did. She wrote every single fucking.
Plays a guitar. I know that. That's what I mean. I don't know.
She plays the guitar, and she had a rock band, and the guitarist in her rock band, actually in that tour, is the drummer today for Foo Fighters.
Yeah, it is. I know that actually too. I actually know that. I didn't realize that until the other day.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Actually.
Yeah. So yeah, she was rock, right?
I was just curious. I'm not making an argument. I was just curious.
Yeah,
she's alternative rock.
It's still rock, right?
You know, and so is the Beastie Boys.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
They're in the conversation. So but I was not mad at that. I was not mad at that though. But the other one I did call bullshit, and I think that the Prodigy one is kind of that one. If you had to choose one, who do you think was worse that he played?
Oh, the Prodigy one.
Absolutely. See, this is what I'm saying, because a lot of you may not think that Beastie Boys counts, but I think a lot of people there is a lot of people in that camp. If you look up Beastie Boys right now, alternative rock is on there. Rock rap is on there. Rap. These are genres that come up when you search the Beastie Boys. I agree with you. Yes, they were a big sampling band at that time, that Paul's Boutique or whatever, that album there. They was all fucking
didn't play an instrument.
I'm aware, but they were called geniuses for using all those samples and all this. I get it. They didn't fucking play any instruments, but I'm just saying they were considered at that time. I think a lot of people, because they cross genres, right? Like they brought people in from both areas, though they were fans of them, right? So I get what you're saying. It's a good argument. It's a good argument.
That's where the cross started crossing over from rap into rock, and then that's where from rock into rap, and then it started drifting off into its own genre. I mean, ultimately everything is considered rock music somewhere down the line, except when you get to Aboriginal stuff and from back in the day. But I mean, regardless, I mean, it's all considered rock one way or another. It's going to go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if it's any good.
But it doesn't matter, because like we said, congratulations, Leslie. You won. You won once again. Good job.
But you're still the loser.
That's what you should have played too. That was on your list. Loser by Beck.
Okay, but are they playing instruments?
And you actually said that you liked that song. Why wouldn't you play that song?
I don't know why I didn't play it either, because I didn't want to feel like a loser, because I was already losing.
You should have played it at the end.
I know.
After you lost.
I know. I didn't even think of that one after I just played all the songs that just pissed her off in the overtime.
No, I think she's right. Your downfall, your demise was you just fucking around too much. I think if you took it a little bit more serious, I think you may have stood a chance.
You know what? I honestly didn't think I was going to win at all, to be honest with you. And
you would if you played Zombie.
I was surprised being up 3-2. I was fucking shit. I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
But
or 2-1 or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, when I was up.
Congrats on the win again. I gotta say though, quickly though, before we let you go soon, that we should mention though, for anybody that missed out on the broadcast, what occurred with your neighbors during the actual battle. Because that was hilarious. Miss Late Night Chat Work. She doesn't even know the name of the fucking
yelling it out like nonstop. We're going.
But they pulled it up. Late Chat Network, right?
But
they pulled it up.
You were actually saying
Late Night Chat Work.
Yeah. Listen to yourself. It's hilarious. You say it like 10 times, and we're over here trying to I'm over here trying to correct. Nico's yelling at me, saying she's saying it wrong.
Place is like Late Night Chat Work, guys. Search it. That's why I'm like, how do these guys find it? Like, I'm just
looking at Rob going.
They did, and they subscribed and they watched.
Oh my god, it was too fucking funny, man.
Dude, and then when I was done, they were like, "Hey, everybody, Leslie won shots." Yeah. So all these gay guys and girls at the bottom here is Pirates hat for someone's birthday. Shots. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
Thank you guys, thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys are having a regular party over there. That was good.
Yeah, exactly. Ruining our sound quality, everything like that. Getting Nico all stressed out. What the fuck, man? But yeah, so it was a good time. I had a good time. I know. I'm surprised. I should have done it. I should have played it a little better. I'm surprised he didn't play certain songs, which really.
Had you not thrown me off, I would have played better songs too.
I think.
Had the chat not thrown.
So you're admitting that he threw you off successfully.
He did. He completely did.
Mission accomplished.
That's all I needed to know. I had to know that I actually wanted. I threw you off.
But I'm proud that even though he threw me off, I still won.
Yeah, you got it together. You got it together in the end there. Honestly,
I mean, it wasn't hard.
But he gave you a run for your money.
He totally did. He threw me off, and the chat, like the votes.
Yeah,
they threw me off too. right?
Well, I kind of realized when I started playing Stone Temple Pilots and shit like that that's the kind of songs I would have won with, but I don't know too many of them. So I couldn't really use any other albums from anybody else, like Radiohead or whoever. I got other shit on here, but it's not like anything that I can think of like those.
I had Foo Fighters. I was down to play.
I
was surprised I didn't hear one Foo Fighter song.
Right, and then again, the chat threw me off on that one, and he threw me off on that one. I was like, shit.
I have a question. Do you like Our Lady Peace at all?
I love Our Lady Peace. I had them on my list too.
How come there's no Clumsy album on there? That's what I'm pissed about. I had
Clumsy highlighted. Again, the chat. Are you kidding me?
I know that album.
I played one slower song and I got a comment saying, "Oh my god, I'm yawning." Right? So I was just
that was my girlfriend.
Oh, sorry. I was like, oh my god, I gotta step it up. People aren't enjoying it, right? So I can't play any slow songs, right?
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. Like again, like after I think they had 2 good albums, but that first fucking album, Clumsy, is
amazing. I've seen them live.
Did you really? Oh man, I remember we were talking about those albums where it's like there's no skippable song. That's one of them.
Yeah.
That so that when I seen that, I thought that was for sure Jay's ears, and then he said I wouldn't have played them anyways. I don't like them, but I'm like, are you fucked? Like, and then I would have.
And then the only reason I stopped playing slower songs was because people were like saying boring, right? And I was just like, and then another comment yawning. I'm like, oh my god, I can't play any of alternative rock because nobody likes them. Nobody's gonna vote for them, right?
The audience, no, it's true.
I was going to play on my list, like on my my starter list.
Yeah.
Don't Speak by No Doubt, which was a huge fucking.
Should have, no doubt. Yeah, No Doubt would have been good.
But I didn't play it because of the comments, right? So I was just like,
I would have thought because of the comments, you would have played that song. That's a fucking huge. I was surprised again. I didn't hear No Doubt too. That's another one I was surprised.
Right. I had that whole first amazing album that they had. But again, like when people start roasting me, like Rob's saying, for playing slower songs, you get thrown aback and you're like, okay, well, then I'm not going to play them, right?
It doesn't necessarily mean you don't get the votes, though. That's the thing. They can say whatever they want.
It's
they
a
still
risk,
like
though.
the song.
It's a risk.
It's a risk, right?
Yeah, it's a risk.
And you're looking at the chat and you're thinking, shit, all these, this whole list that I've got is going to lose.
Because I'll tell you one thing: you win one of 2 ways, as I've seen it. You don't win for substance. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Okay. And a lot of these songs, unless it's such a nostalgic song that everyone fucking knows it already.
Like Creep.
Yeah.
Right. So there's that. Right. And, or like when you played the last battle there against Rob, when you played Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
Like everyone fucking knows that song, right? Like that, you know what I mean? It didn't matter what he played after that. He fucking played Metallica's One, which I would have fucking voted for like any other time. But since it was in response to that song, at that point, like you might, you know what I mean? Like you just got to tap out, right? It's such a nostalgia. Like everyone fucking knows the words to that song. That's the only other time, but you can't play a song with like substance or like, I feel like you said, slower or deeper meaning, because like, unless people really know the song, it's going to go, they're not going to want to hear it at the time, right? You're going to play some crazy fucking, and then you get votes. The other way you get votes is for songs that are like, crazy, like you said, up tempo, fucking good beats, this kind of thing that get people going, right? And that's what I've learned from all of these things, right? That's why it's tricky, right?
If you also lead off,
but that's the thing. The 90s wasn't about upbeat tracks until the end of the 90s with Blink and Offspring, which became like, right? Because if you look at the early years of the 90s, it was a very dark, depressing time for rock, but amazing rock. Right? Like Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit is probably their most upbeat track, if you look at it. But it doesn't mean that every other song by them.
Fun of the convention of being like these sellout rock fucking people, right? Like that's the whole point of that, right? Isn't that the whole point of that fucking song, right? Like I get what you're saying, but that's why I like the depressing fucking music. Believe me, I do. But like, and I get it, but like that's why certain songs, like I'm gonna relate it to the hip hop battles that I've been in. I can't play those certain songs because I'm like, you need to hear this whole fucking 5-minute song that means something to me. If I'm gonna play a minute and a half of it and you're not gonna fucking be listening and it's a slow fucking beat, and people are gonna laugh at the fuck out of here. He's gonna play some radio hit and everyone's gonna be like, well, I know that fucking song, and then boom, you lose, and you're like, how could this? I fucking lost to Uchi fucking Wally because I'm like, you know what I mean? No, but right. But which to me, I think it's the stupidest fucking Nas song, right? But I would never fucking vote for that song. But it was the more upbeat fucking song at that time that people are like, you know, hey, I remember this one, right? And that's how it goes, right? That's
that's why, you know what? That's why a one hit wonder battle would be only because everybody knows those one hits.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jay plays that way. Jay plays that way. I'll give him that. He plays cheap like that. He does.
I like to throw.
You had a great one hit wonder, and I had a great one hit wonder too. You had No Rain by Blind Melon, and I had Runaway Train by Soul Asylum.
That was a one name.
Sorry, which one? What did you say, Leslie? Which one did you have?
I had Soul Asylum's Runaway Train.
Okay.
And he had No Rain by Blind Melon.
Okay.
I didn't even know Blind Melon.
You don't know Blind Melon?
I know the name, yeah, but I didn't like listen to anything. So
my God, No Rain was like one of the biggest hits of the early 90s.
Yeah, I could have made a fucking joke about. I used to say.
Right? And the guy died of a heroin overdose 3 months after it fucking played.
Like you said, I would have to hear the songs. I'm sure I know them. I would just have to hear this because, like, by the
game. Yeah, I know it.
Because, like, by the band's names, because you said they're one hit wonders, I don't recognize the names, but I would have to hear the song. But yeah. Anyways,
it's hilarious.
So Leslie, we gotta arrange for you to get involved in at least one more before we wrap up the battles in the coming months. I think at least for the time being. So we're gonna have to talk. I know there was some talk about the teaming up for the a team battle of sorts with the rap hip hop.
I'm taking Nico because he has a better track record than you. Sorry, JT.
You. Hey, we come as a package.
No, putting my foot down on this one.
Let's not confirm it yet, though. I gotta play around with the idea, with the format and the people. Yeah. No one played the hip. I know. Yeah, that's I would have.
I had a Head by a Century. I could have played that.
I purposely didn't play the hip because I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Right, and I figured if people were saying like some of my other bigger hits than the hip were sleepy and boring, there was no way I was gonna play any hip at all.
Hey, I had Madsen. I had a bunch of shit too. I could have fucking went.
I had some Van Halen too from the 90s, but I prefer Van Halen better from the 80s than the 90s. That was the only reason that I didn't play them, right? But yeah, like I said, like a lot of my tracks were slower, and the chat threw me off, and I was just like, oh, not gonna play any of them.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I had over 60 songs, and I was like, I played that song. Like, you don't even know that song by Big Rec.
No.
I even sent you a meme about it the other day with Mike Tyson, and you didn't understand it, and that's when I knew right away.
Oh,
he's like, I really like that tune. I really like that song instead of that song.
I laughed just because of the way Mike Tyson talks. I did laugh at it, but I guess I didn't get it in the sense, like, in the proper context to the
because you don't know that song.
No, absolutely not.
Meanwhile, it was like a huge hit in the 90s, right? That whole album alone, like it had like 3 major hits. Like I think it was Albatross.
Yeah, I like them a lot too.
Sorry, Rob. Sorry. I know it's so sacrilegious as a Canadian in general not to like the hip, but hey, I like Alanis Morissette, and a lot of people didn't vote for her, right? So
if I told you, man, if my brother was watching, you would have got his vote.
Yeah,
right now, you love that shit. That
Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette was another top freaking Grammy Award winning album.
Yeah. Grammys don't get you votes around here, though.
No, obviously.
Nobody's got a Grammy here.
How can I mean, like, I thought I'd get every single female vote on that one song alone.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, no Alanis Morissette fans? Like, my kid likes that. Like, what's wrong with you?
It's ironic the one where she's walking around when she's naked and she's got them over her tits.
Ironic.
I think I'm
no. That's the one where she's naked is uninvited. Ironic is when she's in the car with a beanie, just driving.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't paying attention to the music. I was looking at the side boob.
Yeah.
No. Sorry.
She's a very talented singer. Yeah.
Very. Very first she was a pop star, and then she was a rock star.
Then she dated Ryan Reynolds.
And then she disappeared off the face of the
Yeah, she did. No,
Yeah,
first she
money,
dated
bro.
Dave Coulier.
Made her a lot
Then
of money.
she dated Ryan Reynolds at some point.
Apparently, she wrote "You Oughta Know" to Dave Coulier.
Oh yeah.
We'll never know. That's never been revealed.
It's never been confirmed.
Kevin Smith says it's about him.
Oh,
The
I think it's about
It
me.
just makes sense because he was just
In her life
He
at
had
that
just
time.
broken
Yeah.
up with him.
Yeah, no, but I said
Yeah.
no, I think it was about me. I had wet dreams about that.
Cut it out.
So,
Anyways, all right, we got to move on here. But Leslie, thanks again for doing it.
Thank you.
We really appreciate all the love, spreading the love for the late night chat work to the neighbors there. And no, I'm just joking. No, we really appreciate you coming in and doing it. And we'll talk off the air, and we'll get one more in the works probably if you'll let us, allow us to get you on one more time.
Next door, though.
You love these. Yeah, you're in totally. Yeah. We know that you love these battles.
I do. I freaking love them.
You got nothing else. You just sit there and do all your research.
You, Rob, and me are going to be chasing this 3-0. So not 3-0, but these 3 wins. So we'll see what happens.
I lost. I lose everything, man. It's all good.
Yeah. All right.
Leslie.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Later. Bye.
Yeah, man.
All right, that was a good appearance.
Yeah, no, but it was fun. The whole battle was fun, man. Dude, it's on the list, bro. It's there, man.
I was checking for the side boob.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I should have put that on. I am a creep. No.
Okay, so yeah, sorry. Anything else you want to touch on with that?
No, the battle was good, man. That was it. That's really it. I'm hoping to hear some more. Like I said, hopefully we can get those other battles going with you guys all set up and shit like that too. Those other ones. Did you get a date? You have dates for those guys yet? We have them confirmed. The other ones or no? The one with you.
So I don't have a date confirmed yet, but I'm supposed to hopefully be doing the Biggie Tupac battle finally in 2 weeks. It's either going to be on
that should be interesting.
It may not be on Friday, it might be on Saturday or Sunday, but we're gonna figure it out, and it's gonna be sometime that weekend, and we'll promote it hopefully this following week. Something that we didn't mention at the top of the show. Make sure once again to subscribe to us on Spotify and iTunes, whichever platform you have, or if you're like me and I have both. Go on there, just hit the subscribe button. If you have it already, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to us. All of our episodes of Late Night Chat, all 81 episodes in this episode, the 82nd will be on there shortly. All the episodes are uploaded now, guys. It took me fucking all this past week. It took me a lot of time to do it. So go on there, listen to our episodes, listen.
It's a bunch. You got to go check them out, man. They're all in they're all there. They're depending on where you're looking at. Well, they're not actually all on YouTube yet, are they?
Almost all of them are on YouTube.
No,
Yeah, if you check on our actual YouTube page, Late Night Chat Network, we have all of our other battles on there. There's a couple of them that haven't been cleared. If you're looking for battle of the bands and not the hip hop ones, I think there's the 70s right now that's on there, and then we also have the 90s one, which you said you already watched. The 60s and 80s we were having some trouble uploading them, but I'm hoping this next week those will be up there as well, and so that'll be the all of the battle of the bands we've done so far. But then we also have a Battle of the Bangers. That's our hip hop ones that we've done. Those are all up there right now, I believe. So
and then usually the week following, the Monday following, or whatever that episode, you'll see a review on this show. Yeah,
exactly. Always on the Monday live show, we do a review of it, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if if you're not subscribed as of yet.
No, there'll be dates for those. No,
yeah, there's gonna be like I said, in 2 weeks, I think there's gonna be a Biggie Tupac one. Battle of the Bands, we don't have one confirmed as of yet, but there will be soon. So yeah, make sure to check it out if you're interested in them. We'll be promoting them, and if you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button, you'll be notified of when those go live. The battles that we do, we try to do them every 2 weeks. But we will be wrapping up come November probably with them because we've been doing quite a few over the last few months. So, anyways, I did want to mention, like I said, all the Late Night Chat episodes, the podcasts are up on our Spotify and iTunes. Please check it out. If you haven't listened to some of the old shows, if you don't want to sit here and listen to videos, just listen to, the audio of our podcast. Every single episode's up there. Some of the audio quality on them aren't great, especially when Jay's was during our social distancing at the start of COVID when we started this video thing. There's some audio that we had to pull from you right in the car. At the time, we weren't really recording the audio on my end. We were just streaming it right to StreamYard. So taking the audio off YouTube again and being in the car has made for not the best quality of some, but you can hear everything clearly. You just might have to turn it up very loud for Jay and for some of them. Yeah. But otherwise, I think they're all pretty good. Some great stuff on those COVID months. I think it was like episode 60 to like 70 something. Yeah. I think 74, 75 maybe.
Yeah. It was sitting in the car, man. That was it.
Yeah.
Getting high the whole time. It was interesting.
We
did the battles from there.
Yeah. We did some battles from there. We did the Eminem battle from there. Yeah. And what else? All Weekly Wine Comic Time episodes are on our podcast as well. All the audio, right? Spotify and iTunes, all the Weekly Wine Comic Times, all 50, I think it's like 3 episodes, 52 or 53 episodes are up there now too. Yeah. So yeah, check it out. And then all our special episodes like the battles and all that, and the movie shows, I'll slowly get around to doing that as well. But it's just been a busy week here. So I'm proud to say, though, 2 of our shows libraries are our most long going shows, Weekly Wine Comic Time and this, are all up there for you guys now. Yeah, the Car Spider episode, that's on there. Rob was on that episode. If you look up the episode Car Spiders, that's a pretty fucking good one. Jay gets attacked by a spider in his car at one point. Sorry to spoil it for you guys. That's why it's called that, but it's pretty good, man. It's pretty awesome.
They're still doing it, man. You guys don't believe it. They're there.
I wanted to say now, we didn't mention this as of yet. Rest in peace, the Chadwick Boseman, the actor. After we got off the battle on Friday night, actually, I looked to my phone to find out that Friday night they had announced that Chadwick Boseman had passed away. He is the black actor who played the Black Panther in the Marvel films, as well as many other roles. And apparently he got diagnosed back in 2014 with colon cancer and has been battling it. I think it was stage 3 at that point when he was diagnosed. I'm going to pull up the article, and then he just gone to stage 4 recently. Yeah, and then once he hit stage 4, over the last month, apparently he was
turned for the worst, right?
Yeah, there was photos of him. Apparently some people saw him like a month ago. He was obviously sick. He had lost a fucking shitload of weight. And and people were making comments not knowing what was going on, and probably terrible comments, I'm sure too. That's why a lot of people are being, but his whole family and camp, his team kept it to themselves, and no one fucking knew. So good on them for keeping that information and not leaking that to the press. And as a result, this guy was able to be in all these movies, and what a strong individual, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, he's battling colon cancer the last 6 years, bro.
Right, so he's had it. He had it while he was filming, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that he must have been pretty far into it too, because look at him. He was still in probably the best shape of his life at that point.
Yeah.
So he had, you could see they had fought it, but I mean, unfortunately, it's not always a winning battle, right? With that shit. So but that is pretty sad. I mean, during the time too, like when it was one of the first real.
Sorry, 2016. I misspoke. I just pulled up the article. So it's 2016. He had stage 3 colon cancer, and he was diagnosed.
The movie time, right?
Yeah, well, of course, it was right in the middle of the Avengers time. Black Panther, I think, also came out around that time. This is when he was diagnosed and battling with it, right? And then he was also on another movie which I've yet to see, but I'm gonna go watch it. It's Spike Lee's last movie on Netflix, the Five Bloods. He's in that. I haven't watched it yet.
I've seen something coming up. It's coming up, right?
It's out. It's been on Netflix a few weeks ago. I think in the summer it came out, and I never ended up watching it. But I'm going to go back and watch that. And he was in other movies other than Black Panther too. So I'm actually going to take a moment to actually watch some of these other roles he was in. If you look up his IMDb, maybe I'll do that right now. I was reading online that people were saying like the fact that he was able to do all this in the period of time of him being diagnosed with this is really inspiring, and how much of and he was an inspiration to a lot of people too, just for the simple fact he was one of the first prominent black superheroes, right? For the Marvel universe, especially, which
there was a big controversy. They were talking about it on one of the shows that there was so many other ones that were out, but nothing to that
magnitude though. Yeah, there was definitely other ones before, lesser known things, but he was it's the Marvel black superhero, you know what I mean? Marvel movies are where it's being like, that's why it was such a big deal too. And because there's also the Wakanda things like in Africa,
and I think it was like almost everybody in that movie was a predominantly black role
Yes,
movie, right?
absolutely,
So I mean, there's not very many films like that either, right? So
yeah.
It did do a lot, and he did do a lot for it, right? So during this whole everything that's going on, right? I mean, everybody should just sit back and relax and be thankful. You know, I mean, he did a lot of stuff, and it's inspirational to people that do, you know, are gonna have to fight that or have to fight that kind of stuff. That, you know what, even
Okay,
fighting it.
so listen to this. So 2016, he was in a movie called Gods of Egypt. Okay, then he was in Captain America: Civil War. He showed up. Then he was in Message from the King.
Yeah.
All in 2016. This is when he had been diagnosed.
1 year.
Then he's in Marshall in 2017. Then he's in Black Panther 2018. Then he's in Avengers Infinity War 2019.
Wow.
Sorry, 2018. And then he's in Avengers Endgame 2019. Then
he was in a lot,
then 2019 is also in 21 Bridges. And then he's in the Five Bloods, which came out in 2020. So I know a lot of that stuff, you know, he probably
Bridges.
filmed.
Did I see that? I think I seen that.
So there you go. So that's in that fucking amount of time, he showed up in several fucking films and big parts in a lot of them. Some of those Marvel ones he's in bit parts, but the fact of the matter is he was still working. He was, you know, he was getting all these crazy roles, and you know, he was early in his career, 43 years old. This guy was. It's a very sad story, and I was really shocked to see that. And that's yet another reason 2020 fucking sucks, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, because he, you know, as a superhero, he went and visited a lot of sick kids in the hospital. I saw that. There's also the video going around that people were pointing out too, where he was on, I think, Jimmy Fallon, and there was that thing where they were pretending. Did you watch that video where he was pretending like he wasn't actually there, like, and then he would show up, and then like all the people would it was like him, like a poster or something like that. I think it was right
through the poster.
Yeah, and then he would show up, and then like all these people like would sit there and like talk to him and tell him like how much they loved him and this and that. And he was just spending, you know, he would sit there and he listened to these guys, and yeah, I know it's yeah, really nice guy, and it couldn't have happened to you know,
unfortunately, yeah. But I mean, at least he got to really be inspirational and enjoy it that last little while that he did have, man, peacefully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that sense that he wasn't really bugged by anybody, nobody really bothered him, and
yeah,
he kept it quiet.
Honestly, the fact that
surprised.
his team, like the team he had around him, his family and all that, kept it to themselves, and then he just released a statement when he died and said, you know, please, you know, respect our privacy in this matter and stuff like that. The fact that it never leaked out to the public, yeah, no, honestly, yeah, but the fact that he never leaked it out to the public, it means that it says a lot about the people he had around him and close to him too, to actually
keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, those are big bucks. That's big. That's a big ticket. That's a big meal ticket for people. That's what they would think, you know, if he didn't have anybody close to him and personal to him that he could trust, you know. But that people would look at that as a big a meal ticket, if I say, right. I mean, it's kind of fucked up. But yeah, they would be telling the press or some shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
lots of people, page 6 or whatever the fuck they call it. Like, you know what I mean?
Bullshit.
Like they that's it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Some people are already fucking jumping and making comments about him having lost weight in light of this as well, right? Like people were already commenting on that fact that he had why is he like, is this like what's going on? Is he sick, or is it for a role? Like why come he lost all this weight? Like, people were already making fucking assumptions based on that, right?
Yeah, so it sucks because then you got to see it. I mean, you know what? Like I said, it's great that he was able to do it peacefully and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And be alone and be with his family and be with the people that he loved, and nobody had to know about it until the end. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we had to lose him.
Yeah.
You know, and you're not going to see no more. You know, do you think they'll ever replace that role?
Well, that's the conversation that's happening right now. And a lot of people are saying that they shouldn't. I was thinking of it myself, you know, just being a comic fan and actually speaking to other comic fans about this and as well. And the natural thing that they were planning on probably doing and pivoting over to anyways is in the Black Panther movie. I don't know if you saw it. His sister Shuri is in the movie.
Okay.
Now in the comics, Shuri takes over for him as the king of Wakanda at one point.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
And she was a much loved character in the films as well. So people are thinking that they might, instead of recasting,
go for
maybe they'll just show him. Maybe they'll just show him in the mask. Maybe get somebody else, like, you know what I mean, or maybe do one of these digital things. Who the hell knows? And then pass the torch over to her to take over as the Black Panther, because it happened in the comics. They were already apparently talking about it for the films.
Yeah. If they're going to go down that
right,
line,
it makes perfect sense to continue it because they never got a chance to film the second Black Panther movie yet.
Yeah.
So that's the other conversation that they're having right now, at least the fans, right? I mean, I know it's still early to start like fucking, you know what I mean? The guy's barely in the ground and we're already talking about how they're gonna, you know what I mean? But these Marvel movies are a lot to people, right? So like I know that, I know
it's some of the people's their
right,
life,
and then that's why people are saying they'd rather not recast somebody as the Black Panther right now, right? And it's interesting because in the Black Panther and the Wakanda thing, death, it doesn't mean the end for them. Like they have like the city of the dead and they have all this kind of shit. And then some people, you were seeing some of the quotes around
come
there.
back into it like a tiger or something.
Yeah.
The spirit of a tiger. And
not like, not necessarily like that, but like that they live beyond. Yeah, exactly. So, so it's, you know, there's that kind of stuff going on. And then, and when he was alive, I had joked at one point because, you know, I hadn't heard other people joke about it because it's true. Towards the end of his, like, these press runs of him throwing up the Wakanda thing, it looked like at one point he was over it. Like there were some photos where somebody even posted, I don't think a joke about him, but like, you know, all the time having to do it, you know what I mean? Like it may have been frustrating. But then, like you said, you see the things where he visited kids in the hospital. You see him connecting with fans and talking to them and having these moments with them that there's video footage of and stuff like that. So he knew how important it was and how much it meant to people. Right. And I'm sure that's really what that probably was that you were seeing in the photos was him struggling with the fact that he was, you know, sick and like knowing this and knowing that he's going to have to, you know what I mean, leave this behind. And at least he left us I mean, it's nice great, a great body of work. Yeah, exactly. So, and
he was young, man. 43,
43, very
young,
sad. So
I mean, that's only a couple years, man, down the road.
So rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman again. And I do need to see a lot his other films because I admittingly I've only really seen him in the Marvel movies, right? Yeah. And he was great in those films. I just I don't know a lot of his other stuff.
I've probably seen him too in other films too. Like I said, in the 20, what did you say, 21 Bridges there or whatever it was. I think I'm pretty sure I've seen that. So there's a lot. I've seen a lot in the last little while. So it's hard to really get, you know, sometimes put actors into the right movies. Sometimes, you know, you start seeing everybody everywhere until they say it, right? Until they actually show me a picture and tell me who it is. I'm kind of a little bit lost there with names, right? So when Nico said it after Friday, I didn't know. I'm going, who's that? And then he told me it was the Black Panther guy because I hadn't looked yet. And there we go. It was like fucked up. So
yeah, that was right after the battle on Friday when I saw that. So I wasn't
put him
ready
on
for
like
that.
a fucking downer. No, but just totally put him on a downer, and he was just reading it after. Yeah, so it was like
it hit me pretty hard when I first started about it, and then the following day, a lot of people I had talked with kind of
I was gonna say people
must
you and your comic books. So they you know, a lot of people that like to talk about that stuff too, right? And just to figure out and find out what the fuck happened.
I'll have to watch that then. If you watched it, Jay and Leslie say
I'm pretty sure I did. It's a couple years old, I think, right? If I'm not mistaken. But
anyways, rest in peace again. And I did want to mention this weekend I visited a theater for the first time post-COVID with the new movies. I know some people might call me an idiot because I know some people are very against going back to the theater right now.
They've known a lot this weekend alone that went.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what did you go see?
Well, I had to go see. Oh yes, that's right. I did hear about that as well. I haven't seen that. I heard that's really fucking good. He's good in that. That's
Jackie
right.
Robinson
yes. I'll have to watch that.
Okay. I've seen the baseball movie. So
that
was him?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
I think, yeah. Fuck. If that was him
I have to watch
actor,
that. I have to watch that. And that's the other one I heard that's really fucking good that he's in. Yeah.
Okay. So
thank you guys. Thanks. Thank you for mentioning. Just because, like I said, I'm a huge comic book movie guy. So not to say I don't watch other films. I hadn't experienced a lot of his other work. Right. So thank you for mentioning.
I didn't even know he was in that one. So yeah. But I did watch it. That was a great movie.
Oh yeah, did you watch Tenet? Because I did. I watched 2 movies actually. No, I just had to put it out there, man. I listen. I think it's just going to be one of those things. I love going to the theaters, and I'm afraid for that business, to be honest. Like I'm afraid that they're going to go away, and I'm not going to.
People like me.
Yeah, they just stream everything. This asshole over here.
I watched Tenet at home.
You know, so listen. You know, I took the proper precautions, mask and everything. Exactly. You know, and the theaters did a good job. I watched it as well, bro. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna hear what you have to say about that because I watched both. I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan, so I went to see. I bought tickets for Tenet last week as soon as I heard like this weekend was gonna be the return of films. Because up to the last couple of weeks they've just been playing old stuff since they've reopened. Because films they were getting ready to actually come out again, right? Like in the theaters, there were some that they had to push back as a result of COVID that were closed around the world, and now that it's slowly reopened here. I ended up watching a couple. On Saturday, I went to watch Tenet. by Christopher Nolan.
I started watching it and I fell asleep. I told Christine I was too stoned at that point.
You downloaded it? Yeah,
no,
you can't.
I just was streaming. And you know what? I had a great copy. Don't get me wrong. But
okay.
The problem was that I was baked and there was a lot to take in.
Here's the thing. I was gonna say, bro, don't watch it when you're sleepy or high or anything.
No, it was the end of the night thing, and I said, let me try it out. I mean, let me see what happens, right? Because I heard a lot about it, right? I liked the preview and all that shit, but I mean, it was too much to take in, going all in one time, and I was like, maybe I'll save this for another day, right? Like I know this week I can pull it off.
So I watched it, and I gotta say, if the film was 2.5 hours.
Just for any movie, fucking 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Now?
Okay. For that first maybe hour and a half of this film, I'm not gonna say I didn't love it, but I had some issues with it. And it's because mostly, and with Christopher Nolan's films, they're very complex. A lot of them, like the concept when you first go into it.
Fucking with
but this is what I'm trying to say. He doesn't explain it to you. Like he wants the viewer, the audience, to catch up and fucking get what's going on, right? Like he doesn't play
back and forth.
Yeah, which is good, and that's why I have to watch the film again. I'm gonna say that right off the bat. I have to watch it again. Like all his films, I need to watch it one more time and really analyze it now, knowing what I know, because I think that the real brilliance will come out then when you actually realize what you were watching, like I did the second half of the fucking film. Because the first half of the film, I was a little lost. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little lost.
I see, but that's the thing, and you weren't even stoned,
right? No,
tired, and
I had a few beers.
But think about it. Like, I mean, can imagine me trying to.
That's no, you wouldn't have. No,
I was just saying.
No, this is one of his. And I think that's why some people hate on his films, because they truly just think they don't understand them.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I think it's just some of the concepts that people throw out in these films of his. He always has to do something with time. Like time is an element in like everything he's ever done. He plays with time somehow in like literally like all of his films, maybe except for some of the Batmans.
What other movies?
Inception.
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
I watched Interstellar.
He did The Prestige. I think he either wrote it or he produced it or something. Too, he's that one. Yeah. The Batman movies, the three of them, the trilogy with so
he's the guy that did the Batman movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
That fucking first one, Memento. He has a great catalog. Like I really, really, really dig his films, but a lot of people, there's certain people that don't love his films. And there was that war one that he just did. The last one, I forgot it. That one was pretty good too. Dunkirk. That one was good too. I like all his stuff, like to some degree. I do. And so I was really excited to watch this.
Yeah.
And then the main actor in it is what's his name? John David Washington. He's his son of the fuck's his name?
George Washington?
Not George Washington.
Sorry,
fucking guy.
No, I'm messing with you. Now I'm making you threw you off there, but I can't think of who it is.
What the fuck am I blanking on his name now? The black actor in Training Day.
Denzel?
Yeah, thank you. Denzel Washington. Yeah, I just blanked on it. No, it's because you fucking threw out the stupid George Washington thing. So
I just watched Training Day too, Equalizer too.
So all I really saw him was on Ballers, the show Ballers. He's on that show. Yeah. He's really good on it.
Okay.
And I also watched him in that Black Klansman movie. You ever watch that one where the guy has to go in like he's like undercover, like in the KKK? No. I think I started watching. I think I watched about half of it.
Just came out or something?
No, that was a couple years ago.
Or where the fuck did I see it?
I didn't watch the whole film. I watched most of it. Yeah. And what's his name? The guy, the Kylo Ren guy. I just seen it the other day.
Yeah, when I was streaming it, like I was not looking up stuff to watch, right?
And so I watched him, and I don't think I've finished it. I watched most of it. It was good.
Okay.
He was good in it. But I don't really know his work other than that, like being on that show and like the one film I've seen him in. So I wasn't sure if he had like the star power to lead this film.
Okay.
He did a great job, and he played it very differently. And I think that you would see in a lot of Christopher Nolan's films. And it was played like an action movie for the most part, with a really interesting concept.
Fuck. Come on, dude. Like, is that a stupid question?
So like he was very charismatic, very funny, very like unlike I think some of the people that you see in a lot of Christopher Nolan's films. Like he wasn't that serious, and I think that was a good thing because they played it up more like an action film of sorts.
Okay.
And the concept is like I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't seen it. I won't get into it. Basically, there's people can manipulate time in it. Okay. Let's give it a few weeks. I would like you to watch it, and I would like maybe other people to watch it.
Yeah.
he basically
it's a Matrix
inverts. He inverts. There's inverted weaponry. Like it basically goes in reverse.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's all I'm going to say about it. It's a very out there concept because you don't really know they're trying to distract you with other things that are going on in the film.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the second half of the film, you're realizing that
you should have paid attention.
Shit was playing out in front of your eyes.
That you didn't even realize about
the whole film.
Yeah.
And then the second half is fucking brilliant, bro. Like it's just like I'm just like I just like my mind was just like
I don't give you see you talk about directors. I don't, you know what the thing is, I don't give them enough credit. Like, I don't go back to look at who's the director of it. I mean, unless you hear about it on the radio, or if I hear about it on the internet.
See, I don't understand that though, because that one of the most interesting thing to do is to analyze a director's body of work and then conversate about it. That's half the reason why I like doing the late night at the movies show with you, is because I can talk. Like I said, we just did a Pulp Fiction and I talked about Quentin Tarantino, and then I talked about where I rank that movie in all of his other movies at the end I mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And that's why if you can really latch on to a director that you really enjoy, and they have like films that are all kind of like the same, all feel the same somewhat in a sense, but like there's always like one oddball one out of them that doesn't seem like, you know what I mean? Like it just makes for good conversation.
I know what you're saying. I tend to just focus more on the actual storyline. You know, I mean, I guess the director has everything to do with that and the way it's plotted in the movie, right? But I like to give my own personal judgment. I'm not thinking about a fucking the director and who did it and what compared to something else he did prior to that, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the now. There's just a lot of movies that come out, a lot of movies to watch.
But anyways, 2 thumbs up. That's all I'm going to say. I love Tenet. Definitely check it out, guys, if you can. Whether that means going to the theater or watching it by other means, you know, although I would say
drive-ins open too, man.
Yeah, that's true. I would say support your theaters. And then on the Sunday after I watched Tenet, we caught a little matinee by the local theater by me that also just opened up. Small little theater. It was literally me and Christine and one other fucking person in the theater. It was like a 2:00 showing of New Mutants. Nazim from Brews with the Crew. Shout out Brews with the Crew. If you're in the chat, let me know what you thought about it. I thought it was fine. I don't think it was great. It's been getting a lot of fucking bad reviews, but I tried to ignore that because I've watched like every other X-Men film at this point, and a lot of them get bad reviews. I thought it was good. Like I enjoyed it. I don't think it was amazing. I don't think it was bad. I thought it was just okay.
So like is it like different style?
Yeah, it's based on the New Mutants characters, which are like younger mutants that just found out that they got their powers essentially. Yeah, it's just like the X-Men, like when they go to the school and stuff like that.
Before when they get trained and shit.
But this was
X-Men and it's just like
this is supposed to be like a horror film. It's like
mutants in puberty.
Yeah, it's exactly it. It's mutants dealing with their teenage angsty type stuff.
Teenage life.
They're all stuck in this facility that they think is a good thing for them. Like they all like ended up going there basically because with the hopes of maybe one day joining the X-Men. And this doctor that's watching over them, they're kind of held prisoner in this facility.
Isn't that like The Boys?
No, it's much different than The Boys.
I thought The Boys was sort of like that. They went somewhere too, but okay.
Yeah, well put. I would agree. And Ilyana, the person who played Magic, the best part about the film, I thought Magic is a one of my favorite characters out of the New Mutants. So I felt they got her right. At least the character Ilyana is her name, and Magic is her X-Men name essentially. She's like can send people like to limbo and stuff like that. She's like from hell essentially, or like limbo. Like she's got her own like kind of universe that she can bring it. She's like she has like demon powers and she has like magic powers and shit like that. Like and she has she basically learns magic and everything. So she's one of the more powerful mutants and one of my favorite. So she was really, really good in the film. So if you're a Magic fan, I think that's probably the best. She's the best character in the film. Other than that, it was good. It had that girl from Game of Thrones. I forgot the actress's name. Maybe I'll just pull it up. The girl that played the younger daughter on Game of Thrones. That I'm also blanking on her fucking name now. Nazim, help me out. You're in the chat. I know you know. I forgot her fucking name.
No,
but
I don't know who it is.
Yeah,
I didn't watch Game of Thrones. Remember?
But yeah, if you like the superhero movies, there might be something for you there. It is not. It's less superhero, more like you said, like kids with powers dealing with issues. I guess, sort of, and some horror elements in it. I wouldn't call it a straight up horror. There was scary imagery in it.
Yeah.
There's a specific storyline that they pulled from the comics called the Demon Bear Saga, which was basically the storyline in this film. So I know a lot of comic fans were pissed off. I've read a lot of bad reviews saying like they weren't represented well. Honestly, if you don't give a shit about that or you don't know about that shit, guys, though, I think you could go in and enjoy it. But I think it may be worth just waiting. If you can watch it cheap somewhere, or if you can, wait for it to go to video or something, you might be better off.
Watch,
though.
like,
Yeah,
JT again.
Maisie Williams, thank you. Yeah, thanks, man. But yeah, she was good in it too. I thought she was good in it. But yeah, it was all right. I think the cast was really good. I will say that the cast was really good, but the storyline was kind of bare bones. There wasn't much there. Yeah. So it's like
they've already used up so many concepts of fucking superheroes with everything, with all the shows they got now, right? You know what I mean? So what else they got? What else they have left to play with?
Yeah,
you know
you're right.
Especially new powers wise.
This film was already going to get shitted on though either way, I find, because this film originally they filmed it 2 years ago.
Yeah,
but it was during the time that Disney bought out the Fox Marvel deal, like the X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
So I got kind of left hanging there, and then they had to change a bunch of things about the film that related it to the X-Men, and they reshot it twice. They went to reshoots twice. Yeah, exactly. Like, who the fuck, like, really, like, that one Sunspot fan? Like, fuck off. Like, don't get me wrong. There's X-Men fans that are diehard X-Men fans. I know them. And I'm a big X-Men fan. I didn't know Sunspot, but I'm, like, really, like, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, they got Sunspot wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's fucking, like, Wolverine. Or
I was
even,
like, who
you
the
know
fuck
I mean?
Sunspot?
Right, that's what I mean.
I thought it was a spell check. What do you call that? It said sunshine or something.
Yeah, no, like, calm the fuck down. Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no need for that. Yeah, there was the one other guy in my theater was groaning too, by the way, so he must have been an X-Men.
Yeah, really, eh?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I think I can separate it.
This guy was apparently supposed to be part of that person was supposed to be part of the X-Men.
Yeah, no. I think that the people are upset because they got some of the characters wrong from their actual comic book. I can separate myself most of the time when I go into this. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I nerd rage out too if they get certain characters wrong that I really enjoy. I'm a little bit more excusable about certain things, but then other things I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
How the fuck can you get this wrong?
But I move on with my life. You know, I'm not sitting there commenting on the fucking internet about it.
You can sleep at night.
Yeah, exactly.
I get you, man. That's hilarious.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't ever go that far, like, with it, right? I try not to. Whenever I catch myself, I try to, like...
Yeah, don't get Nico but on a bad day. If you get him on a bad day, he'll lose his shit. He'll start throwing his popcorn. What the fuck is this shit? That's it. And if it's a proper movie,
Yeah.
Don't fucking mess with his Batman.
So that would be my suggestions. If you guys go to the theater, watch Tenet over New Mutants. But it was worthwhile to watch both. I enjoyed going back to the theater and actually watching it.
How was that whole experience? I know apparently I was talking to Max too this weekend, and he was saying that you didn't need to literally what's that called? You didn't need to wear your mask when you were in the theater, which I thought was weird. Right?
Hey, Death Door, what's going on, man? Dead man. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure I don't know if you watched it yet, Dead Man. I know we're not looking forward to the film after all the talk about them refilming it and all that. They had to go back and
refilm that
person? Like twice. Yeah. But shout out to Death Door Productions. Check him out on SoundCloud, his podcast channel. I occasionally still show up there and do podcasts with them. And he's got like fucking 10 years worth. He actually just celebrated their 10-year anniversary recently.
Congrats,
if I read that correctly on Twitter. Dead man, congrats on that. And
shit, that's quite a fucking going.
I was doing podcasts with them for a few years prior to coming on and doing this with you, Jay. Yeah. So congrats to all this.
Stole him.
A lot of great.
No, he's leaving.
A lot of great content on there as well, and I occasionally go back and do a show with them as well. We talk about movies and comics and that kind of stuff too. So
yeah, you guys do big comics all the time on that one, man. You guys do you really dive it in there sometimes into that whole comics, right? But it's good, man. I mean, really, check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, so, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would go to the movie theater right now. I mean, I'd probably stick to drive-in or whatever.
To what you said, to your point, you don't have to wear the mask in your seat. You have to wear it around the theater. You have to
once you get up.
Yeah, you have to wear it like if you're in the concession area, if you're in the bar area in the VIP, if you're in everywhere but the seat, because if you're sitting there eating or drinking or whatever in the seat, they're not going to make you wear the mask in the seat. And everyone's like, there's nobody beside you. The two seats beside you are empty, so they're all pretty spaced out, right? So yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much what people are saying. I read a lot of bad reviews that made me almost regret buying my tickets to it, because I was excited to maybe go back and sit in the theater again. But I ended up watching it, and like I said, it was just okay. I didn't hate on it. I thought the casting was good. It is a shame that they had to do all the reshoots. Because originally when the idea came out, Jay,
was it filmed here?
I don't know. They had branded it as a horror movie. Okay. And like you said, what more can they do with the superhero genre? So when the casting came out, the casting looked really good. And the idea of like a horror take on the New Mutants sounded very interesting. Yeah. And they were going to do the Demon Bear saga, which was like, again, one of their more famous comic book storylines for the New Mutants. So it all sounded good on paper when they first started talking about it 3 years ago.
And it does sound good, right? When you're telling it to me.
But then there was so much, I think, bullshit that led up to the release now that they basically just fucking ended up just releasing the goddamn thing because it's been pushed back time and time again.
Yeah, I don't think they made any money really off of it this weekend.
No. So I think they just put it out with hopes that, hey, there's like there's 3 movies out right now. Maybe people will go to watch these films. And I did. That's what I mean. I watched all the X-Men films. Yeah. Good or not, I watched them all. So I'm just like, okay. So anyways. What else? Anything else you wanted to mention here tonight?
No, I mean, really, we've kind of touched on just about everything. I wanted to make fun of the battle, the most of the part. That was my interesting part of the night. But no, I've been just catching up with regular TV shows. I've been listening to new music this week. Just listening to that Detroit versus Everybody album, that Big Sean
EP.
I've been trying to get into the new Locks album too, because I haven't had a chance.
The Locks just came out with an album.
There's a lot of music coming out right now. That's another thing, guys. I mean, there's a lot of music coming out in this next quarter. Remember, we forget that it's going to be October soon, so this is the last quarter of music, right?
I was going to say, because I didn't have a lot of time to talk about I listened to the music that you just mentioned. Yeah. And Big Sean's album, his actual album after the EP,
I didn't even know that.
Comes out, I think, this Friday. Yeah. So maybe next episode when we come back, we can actually maybe do a more in-depth review, because it's been a while since we talked about some reviews, and we're going to be coming to the end of the year. Like you said, we're going to have to talk about our favorite albums of the year and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, what about the 18th?
Joyner Lucas's new album. Yeah.
So, I mean, there's quite a few albums coming just this month alone, right?
The Nas album just came out 2 weeks ago. I barely
never got
listened
into
to
it, man. I never got into it. I got into the Big Sean before I got it.
Apparently the Locks album
Big Sean
really
is
good.
a very fucking the EP is very I can't wait for the actual
Locks album's called Living Off Experience with an X.
It's actually supposed to be really good. There's a good Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun song.
DMX is on it looks like.
So I mean I've been waiting to hear that, but like I said, I've been going through that Big Sean EP because it's actually a very inspirational album, man. That one, it's actually got some good songs.
Yeah,
if you sit there and listen to
he hasn't released music in a long time, and he went through a lot of issues with it, like
family too and stuff.
A lot of issues, like a lot of stuff. So if he goes into that on the EP, even though I've yet to listen other than the Eminem song you played me the other day, which I have to listen to it again, but he may have even fucking out-rapped M on that song, man. He fucking did a good job.
Man, Eminem's just kind of just jumped around, but he really did fucking crazy wordplay.
He killed it on that song. I like Big Sean a lot.
But he was flowing a lot. Like his flow is a lot. He's gotten a lot.
What's the name of the EP? Is it
it's Detroit versus Everybody?
And then the album I think is Detroit 3. I think the one he's coming out with, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I looked up on the other albums. They're not Detroit 1, Detroit. There's nothing.
He had mixtapes that were called Detroit.
Oh, okay,
yeah, he had mixtapes.
So they wouldn't be on.
He's had a good run on mixtapes, and like a lot of them aren't on.
That's what I was gonna say. There's songs that
I think the Finally Famous mixtapes might be on there from like back in the day. That's when he first got on my radar, like back in the day. Like he was on the XXL cover and all that shit. Like this is back he's been on my radar for a long time. Like I guess you're a little newer to his music.
Well, I've heard a few things here and there, right? But I've noticed he's starting to get better. So it's starting to click to my ear. I don't know if it's
he was on that T Grizzly album.
I don't know if it's people that are producing the music, the beat in the background. So a lot of that has to do with the way you like the music. There was a moment in time where he was in the conversation with Kendrick and J. Cole,
and Drake.
Yeah.
Like he was there in that conversation,
Yeah,
and
but
then
it fell off.
his production, his music. He stopped making as much music,
Yeah.
and then he had a lot of personal
flow with.
issues in love life and like personal life, and then he hasn't really brought out anything in like his last album. I think was like 3 or 4 years ago at this point, right? So his last,
it's been a while. Like
Yeah.
I said, I haven't heard from anything from him in quite a while until I heard that this album dropped.
You're not wrong. So maybe we can talk a little bit more in depth about that next week.
Yeah, because that album's a good one. You got to take a listen to it. I mean, sorry, the EP. I was surprised. I thought that was the album because it had fucking 12 songs on it.
And Eminem was a feature.
Yeah, it was a feature on an EP. Which then I thought was like, what the fuck, man? Who's he gonna have on his album now?
He comes out this Friday.
I can't even find
album.
a track list though. I was trying to find a track list for the actual album and I can't. I mean, that's the funny thing. You can find a track list for the EP, but not for the album.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy thing. But there's, like I said, there's going to be a lot of new music coming out, a lot of new stuff like that, which should be interesting for the next quarter. Hopefully, come around. You got to remember how much music came out this year too. We totally they haven't realized, but how much actual music was dropped this year, albums. In the first half and the second half, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah, we'll talk about it because
we have a lot to talk about.
We always do end of the year review, guys, where we talk about our favorite media of the year, which is music, movies and TV
like
shows and shit like that we talk about. So that'll be a good one, even though it's been such a shit year everywhere else. I think those are always the times that the best art comes out, right? That's what they always say. The best music comes out in the face of crisis and this kind of thing.
Watched what's it called? Like you were saying about Denzel. I watched that new Equalizer too.
I watched the first one and liked it. I never seen the second one.
It's not that new. I mean, it came out a couple years back.
I watched the first one and I liked it.
It was all right. I mean, because it came out finally streaming, right? So you can sit there and watch.
It's a quintessential Denzel movie.
Yeah,
like it's what you would expect from.
It was good to watch for.
It's exactly like the first one.
Yeah, it's good to watch for the excitement, right? But I mean, other than that, it was just another movie. Exactly. But I started watching The Boys. That's why I was asking you about it. But
season 2 out now?
No, I just started watching the first season. Right,
it's great. It's great.
I've just seen past the part where she's giving the blowjob to what's his face, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck am I watching?
I told you, it's a fucking raunchy superhero show.
I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's great. It's good, and I ended up finishing Doom Patrol. By the way, I watched. I hated how it ended because because they COVID. Yeah, I'm so pissed about that. Man. They better do a third season.
I have a feeling it'll come back. I have to.
Has it been?
It has to.
DC just had an event a couple of weeks ago where they were talking about all this type of shit, their properties. I wonder if they announced something because I didn't hear anything.
I hope so, man.
It was
a great fucking series, man. Both like I mean. I hope they have the Umbrella Academy come back.
I liked the second season better than the first fucking season, even though it ended like that. It was better.
It started off fucked up. Remember, I told you it started off fucked up. But then,
like halfway through, I'm like, wow, this is really fucking good, man.
And just the stuff that you see. And Brandon Fraser, he kills me, dude. Like that. I still can't get over him. Because he's not moving his mouth. But you can picture his face. The worst thing is I can picture his facial expressions. You know what I mean? Even though the thing's not making any.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think it's kind of funny that he's not the zombie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but when they're swearing and this and that, you get thrown off with comics, movies like that.
But anyways, okay, I guess we'll lead us into my way back playback for the night, unless there's anything else you want to touch on. I have nothing else on my list.
I'm good. We had a good discussion about our battles or everything that's been going on.
Thank you to everybody who stopped by in the chat here today. Hit that subscribe and hit that like button, that thumbs up after you leave today. Make sure to do that. Again, shouts out to some of the podcast guys we've had in the chat here tonight, friends of mine and people I've either done podcasts with or I'm looking to do podcasts with at some point. Brews with the Crew, check them out. They're on Podbean as well as on all the other podcast platforms, Spotify, iTunes. Same with Death Store Prods. They're on SoundCloud as well as iTunes and Spotify. All the main podcast spots. You can find both of them. And Brews with the Crew recently just also had some content on their YouTube page as well. So definitely check them out. It's like I said, it's people I know and people I've done work with, podcast stuff with. So I endorse all their stuff. Honestly, it's some great content on their sites. Okay, so let's bring up the playback. I'm gonna play a Big Sean song for you guys. Yeah. So
I was thinking if he was gonna be Big Sean or the Lock, since we had just talked about it or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking I honestly thought you were gonna after I said the Locks, he'd bring up something from the Locks because I
I like
figured
the
you liked
Locks,
that
but I
style,
haven't
right?
heard
Your
you
new
know.
album, right? To say any, no, I thought you would have played something, but what were we talking about earlier that came out 2000 that was considered fucking rap? Oh,
Gorillas.
fuck. Yeah, Gorillas.
Yeah, I could
thought
have
you
played
would have
something
done
by
something like
that too.
just to throw them off.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead, man. Do your thing, dude. It's your way back payback. You're not getting too many more of those, eh?
No, 20
half
14.
Of that. Yeah, 14, bro. So make them good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you bring up a good point. I'll just come and drop in and occasionally do
way back. I'll call Nico. Hey, I'll call Nico from fucking
the countdown.
Yeah, hey Nico, just come pop in. They'll just send them a link. Pop in and fucking throw in your way back playback.
Okay, so here we go. So this is let's play
what do you got there?
Let's play Who Knows. This is Who Knows featuring Mike Posner. One of these songs I liked off this is off of Finally Famous Volume 2. Big Sean, one of his older mixtapes. So yeah, thanks again to everybody who tuned in tonight. Thanks Nazim. Bro. Yeah, awesome. Thanks guys. Peace out later everybody. Oh, and here is Who Knows. Press play.
Thanks, bro.
Sometimes my mind wanders away from me. I know I like my touchy up puff. Maybe one day I'll fly. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I wish that I could be what I want to. I wish that I would do what I don't do. I need a miracle. I hope it come through. I'm trying to work it out. I need a jumpsuit. Cause I done about had me enough and not having enough.